Okay, 3, 4, 5, let's go. Hello Internet, I'm KrissieDeathy, and today's video is going to be a lot different from normal, but let me illuminate a little bit more. I did recently get a new lipstick. I've got, well, it's called Lip Stain, but I use it like lipstick. I got a turquoise one that matches my purse. This one also matches my headset, and this is actually a new headset I was planning on unveiling when I started playing Sonic Mania, which would have been today, but due to Sonic Mania being delayed for the PC games, yeah, kind of sad about that. But today's topic is going to be something else, something new, and basically what it is I've had a shitty day, so I found out about the DuckTales reboot, and I watched that. I watched it this morning, and then I watched it on my way home after my shitty day from work, and so I wanted to basically talk about the new DuckTales reboot and how much I love it, because I really enjoy it. So let's start off with like the original DuckTales. I know I did watch it a lot. I'm not sure if I watched it as much as I watched Goof Troop and Darkwing Duck, but I know I did watch DuckTales at some point, and there's a spot on my glasses that is pissing me off, because my glasses are dirty and not properly clean. But I did remember watching the series vaguely. I don't remember it very well. I know it was mainly Scrooge McDuck, the triplets, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, and Launchpad. Those are the main people I remember from it. I know there was a little girl, but I don't really remember her very well. Now, what I did, like, when I first heard about the new reboot, my boyfriend told me about it, and he was talking about Scrooge McDuck sounds different from the one he grew up with, because he remembers watching this show religiously, it seems like. And I looked it up, and it turns out Scrooge McDuck is voiced currently by David Tennant, because the original voice actor, Alan Young, who was not the original, but he was the last one who was doing it when we grew up, until last year. He passed away. I don't remember why. I don't recall looking it up. It made me sad, so I probably just like avoided it. But I find it funny that David Tennant, who, from my understanding, who I know as a doctor on Doctor Who, a show I don't even watch, is the voice of Scrooge McDuck. So, kind of amusing for me. So I looked that up, and I also found out that the voice of Donald, who has been doing Donald since about the 80s, is also an animator. He was a character animator on Jasmine. He did animation on Little Mermaid. He did the Footstool, I believe. I think he worked on that for Beauty and the Beast. So yeah, he did a lot of things, and that's really cool. And I also looked up the voice actors for Huey and Dewey and Louie. One of them is the panda from We Bare Bears, and I don't remember the rest. But that's really how I started it off. And then after watching the special for the first time, I looked up the family tree, and I was surprised to find that Ludwig von Drake isn't on there at all, considering I always thought Donald's uncles were Scrooge McDuck and Ludwig von Drake. Don't know how these correlate, but apparently DuckTales, from what I gathered off of Wikipedia, started as kind of like a spin-off of the comic strips, which were really popular in, it said Danish, so I'm presuming Danish is Denmark. I might be wrong. I'm American, and I apologize for not knowing. I believe it's Denmark or the Netherlands. Somebody told me it was different at some point, and I apologize for my confusion. Please educate me in the comment section. And then in Brazil, the comic books are really popular there, especially with Donald and his family and their escapades, and DuckTales came from that. in the animated show was just, I remember really enjoying it, and I remember really liking the theme song. And then from what because I'm playing it again all over again, the new DuckTales, like the animation style throws me off because it's really different from like what I'm used to. It's a lot more angular, like the lines and the line width is different. It's a different art style, but I do enjoy it. I do like it. It is growing on me. And something I also enjoyed that I am praising the show for is each triplet is finally different. I think that was a main problem I had with Huey, Dewey, and Louie. They were all the same. They wore the same shirt, the same kind of hat, they spoke the same way, they behaved in very similar manners. Like, everything I can remember of these guys is they were the same. They were just carbon copies. One was blue, red, and green. That was it. It bothered me on a lot of levels for some weird reason, so I really enjoy that DuckTales is different. Only Dewey's blue, Huey's red. Huey is the only one with the cap, and Louie is wearing like this sweater, which I enjoy, and I like the fact that their hair, each of their hair is different. I enjoy that fact. So, yeah. I also find it amusing that in the beginning you have to deal with Scrooge, sorry. Can't say shit right. Scrooge McDuck. He doesn't want anything to do with his family, and he's cranky, and then the triplets say something that like trigger him in a way, and I enjoy that because he's just like, they're just like, you used to be a big deal, what happened? And he's just like, I'm still a big deal, I'm still cool, I go on adventures. No, you don't, Scrooge, you don't. It's funny and amusing, and I enjoyed that. The art style, like at first I wasn't sure how I felt about it, but I really enjoy it. I also really enjoy how because it was the opening scene I saw it, there was a kind of like comic book dotted texture on the clouds, shading on the clouds. I really enjoyed that because like it's kind of calling back to the comic book origins of the DuckTales. And oh, this girl, I'm at the part where I'm not sure what her name is, sorry. My pants are really tight, I have to unbutton them. But I like the girl and how like she's all hyper. I enjoy her, but she's also kind of sheltered. But she's really good at making diagrams and doing research. And she's also voiced by the girl who does Sadie, who's from Garfunkel, and she's Garfunkel and Oates, that's what she is. She's in that band, which I enjoy. I also like the fact that they point at Louie and they're just like, he's the evil one, and he's just like, yeah. But that's something I finally really enjoy. Finally, the triplets are different individuals, and I think they probably learned a little bit of that from Gravity Falls, because I've been reading the comics. Like, a lot of people have been commenting that it's similar to Gravity Falls, and I think these people aren't aware that DuckTales was originally about Scrooge McDuck and his nephews, the triplets, going on like adventures and solving mysteries, which is kind of like the basic premise of Gravity Falls is. And I think there was probably something that might have been before it that was similar, but really DuckTales was the one from the 90s. And I heard somewhere by reading a comic section that someone said that Darkwing Duck is set for season 2 of this show, which I really, really want to see, because I do intend to watch more of this, and I'll probably do more review episodes of this. I also love how Mrs. Beakley is just like, I'm not your secretary. Get a secretary. I enjoy her little rage about that. I like her a lot. She amuses me a lot. I also love how, cause like, it's Donald. Donald is like this really overprotective uncle, and I enjoy that because there's a picture later on that he shows to his coworkers in the episode where it's just like, this is so-and-so's first steps, and it's like there's a mattress and there's all these pillows around, and I'm just like, Donald has been with these boys since they were basically hatched. But it also makes me wonder, Scrooge has been avoiding his family for 10 years. The painting shows Donald and his sister Delia, if I think that's how you pronounce it, on an adventure with Scrooge McDuck. So the question is, where are the twins' mother? I read somewhere that it was explained that she was on an astronaut expedition, and then apparently originally there was a letter in one of their first appearances where apparently the boys were being mischievous and put a firecracker under their dad's chair, and you had to go to the doctor or something. I don't know. Either way, their father has always remained unknown. So that's weird. But, oh yeah, there's another scene where the comic book shading is used around, which calls tale to the comic book roots of the DuckTales, which I really enjoy. And I'm really enjoying the show. I also really like Goldglum, that's his name, where he's just like, I'm wearing a kilt. I like that. That was funny. It was like, it's really good, and it's a lot better than what I was expecting, because like with the recent reboot uprising that we've been getting from Cartoon Network for shows, specifically Powerpuff Girls, I think it was like, Powerpuff Girls really just set a lot of people up, but I think they tried to reboot some other things. Like the Teen Titans Go, I think, was supposed to be a reboot of the original Teen Titans instead of a spin-off show, and that I just don't like it. It's not my thing. Like, there are some things that are funny about it, but it's not something I really particularly like. It's just a lot of things. Like, when I think of reboots now, I'm just like, I see them and I'm just like, I'm not really pleased with them. I'm just like, but I think it's probably a little bit of me. Like, I miss the original. I like how it used to be. But with this one, it's probably because like my memories of the original DuckTales aren't that very clear. But watching this, even though like I remember bits and pieces of the original DuckTales, there's like these things that are new and different to like what I can remember of the characters from even like the old original Disney shorts. They've evolved more. They're more personality. They're still essentially the same person, but it's just more enjoyable. There is a lot of visual things which I really enjoy, and I'm very, very happy to see all this. Though it does make me wonder more about Donald Duck's family, because like the family trees I'm able to find, like they have Scrooge McDuck, but the one thing that bothers me is Ludwig von Drake isn't there, but I was always told he was Donald's uncle, and the Wikipedia pages I had just read said he was his uncle, but he's not listed on any family trees. So I'm just like, how are you related to Donald? I don't quite understand, but I am hoping to hopefully learn more. And based on like how like the first episode ended, I think we're gonna kind of have more explanation as to who the twins' mother is, what she's like, why isn't she there, why is Donald their legal guardian, it seems now. And also I love how like Scrooge McDuck is just like, he's just like, he loves adventure, he loves danger, and being around the twins, like, it brings him back to life kind of, because he's been kind of bored. And then he's just like, would you settle for his hat? Like, that's more amusing, and it's funny. So that's basically my reaction to that. And then Donald Duck having to learn to, like, let the guys go, let the twins go, but he's still mad at Scrooge. Just like, you can visit on holidays, federal holidays. I love how Donald's just like, I don't want them getting in trouble. And also something else that just came to my mind. I know this is like 15 minutes, but we can finally understand Donald. I don't know if it's just me and the fact that I've watched a bunch of old cartoons, but we can finally understand what most of Donald says. And I think because that this is a newer show, it's for a newer audience, but it's also an older audience. But it's more for a newer audience. It's basically, they probably told, who, I don't remember his name, the guy who voices Donald, because the same guy from the 80s, I think they told him, hey, enunciate more. And so it's easier to understand him, though it might also be some Kingdom Hearts. But he's enunciating more, so it's not as garbled as it once was. So we now know what it is he's saying and all that, so that's good. It's more helpful. Yeah. I'm trying to think of what else I enjoyed about it, because like there's just so much in this, because it's an hour special. It's really enjoyable, it's really fun, and I think like even if like you're new to the franchise, you'll enjoy it. And hey, I'm a pilot. Oh, thank you, Launchpad. Yes, you are a pilot. I really enjoy it. I think this is like my third time playing this thing through, and it's really enjoyable. And I do plan to watch the rest of the series as it comes out. I think the next episode is going to be due out until September, which makes me really impatient, but I'll be moving into my new place, so you won't see this place anymore. You might see this artwork. I might hang it on my new wall for like my recording station. There is going to be an art piece that my friend drew that I'm going to put on my wall wherever I decide to set up my recording area. But yeah. So yeah. DuckTales 2017 reboot. It's pretty cool. Give it a watch. It's not the exact same as the original from what I can remember of it, but you should still give it a watch. You'll enjoy it. It's funny. If you want to go back and watch the original DuckTales, which is what I'm going to be doing, I would definitely recommend it. Just watch it, enjoy it, and ta-da, it does light up. It took forever to get these to do that because the battery's messed up. But seriously, watch the new DuckTales. Disney XD put the first episode out. It's a 44-minute special. They released it as an hour special, but that's because commercials. So yeah, 20 minutes of commercials on that channel apparently. But go watch it, go enjoy it. If you are a person who watched it in the 90s when it came out, or really in the late 80s, because it said 1987 on the site I went to look at, go watch this one. If you have any small children to watch it with, nieces, nephews, your own kids, watch it, enjoy it. Just get ready for the rest of it. I'm getting more and more anticipation for the Darkwing Duck cameo I'm hoping for, and I'm hoping to see other cameos to other things, and hopefully figure out more about the twin brothers, because I've always wondered about her. I'm excited to see them finally as individuals. I'm happy I can finally understand Donald, because I can rarely do that. And I'm definitely going to be rewatching the original DuckTales just so I can kind of like get a feel for it and try to like figure out for myself, like trying to remember it a little bit better. And then getting happy that this one's kind of like a newer version. And no one tell your Uncle Donald where we're going, of course. Because Donald is an overprotective puppy. Wear your life vest. It's cute. But I'm more excited to like figure this out and enjoy it. So feel free to put your comments about the new DuckTales down below. Tell me what you think of it. Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? What parts did you not enjoy? Do you remember the original DuckTales more than I do? Because I certainly don't. But yeah, I do remember the theme song, which is currently playing over here, which tells you I've been recording for a long time because the timestamp's at 21 minutes. But oh well, you get something new. And light up cat ears. So yeah. Bye. Seriously, watch the new DuckTales. It's cute. Do DuckTales. Do. So excited to watch more of this. Sad that from what I read, it's not going to be coming out till like late September, episode 2, which I'm just like, I think they're just giving it a month to like see how like it goes through. Apparently from early things with people, it got good positive reviews, so they ordered a second season already. But yeah, hopefully still good. Hopefully lots of people like it. Hopefully we get more of it. But yeah, bye.